Well, in general, I try to treat my classroom like a community. I try to create a community in my classrooms. I want them to have a safe space, so they don't, a safe space, but so they can kind of claim ownership over the space.
To
For Sandy? Yeah,
and also just like sad, why can't my daughter?
But I don't mean safety like comfort, because I teach African American literature, culture, and studies. It is not a comfortable canon. It is unsettling. It is challenging. It's troubling. We are confronting race and racism and gender and sexuality in the text that we read. So I want them to be safe enough to wrestle with these challenging texts in this community where they can talk to each other and talk to me, and we can sort of go through these texts together. I teach the autobiography of an ex-colored man, and there's a very powerful lynching scene in it. I've had students who had not seen a lynching photograph before, and I felt it was important that we as we were reading this text, we also had to bear witness to that gruesome bit of racial terror. That was not an easy day for students. It never is. Some students cried, but we were able to kind of sit in our discomfort, work through it, and then come to recognizing the histories behind why that happened, the legacies of that, knowing that we're in a university in the South that matters, that we are committed to understanding the geography around us and the history that we still live. Yeah, winning the award was fantastic and wonderful. I'm not in this game for the awards though, but it was still nice to be honored for something that I feel so passionate about, and that is my teaching. We need to talk about the relationships, the character relationships between, who remembers?
Birdie and Cole.
It was definitely Birdie and Cole, thank you. All right. So what is their relationship like? There's two ways you can be nominated: through evaluations or through a particular student nominating you. Mine happened to be through my evaluations. My students are at least connecting to what I'm trying to do in the classroom, and they were able to put that in their feedback.
How come they have the relationship with like in function? Like they're actual sisters and Birdie, like Cole and Birdie.
Students come to me for a wide variety of things. Often professional guidance for graduate students, but a lot of times for my undergraduates it's personal stuff. I think that has something to do with the connection that I try to foster with my students in the classroom, but also I'm a Black woman as well, and so there's a gendered dynamic into what students will bring to what teachers. I kind of accidentally created a study hall during my office hours, so like students are like camped out and we're eating snacks, and, but so there is that, I hope, that comfort and familiarity, so that we can talk about things like what's going on at home and how that's affecting you in the classroom. Everything, I tell my students all the time, my classroom is not going to be the most important thing of your day. Coming to my class, sometimes life happens, and that's much more important. I hope they leave my classroom with the tools so they can think critically just outside of the classroom space. So think critically all the time. I also hope that they read something in my classroom that inspires them to read something else, and to read widely and without kind of discrimination. A lot of times students in my classes are reading African American literary text for the very first time, or they've read a Langston Hughes poem, you know, and then that's it. And I want them to understand that there is a rich literary history, that Black folks have been writing things down since before this country became a country.